Hello, Savannah. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, Jeff.
Okay, good.
What time is it right now in USA?
It's 10 in the morning.
Oh, it's 10 morning. Is the friend around 13 hour?
Yes, 13 hour for now. In November, it will be 12 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the time change. Yeah, we will start when a few more people join. Then the rest
Yeah.
can join us later. Sure. Okay, everybody, since it's already time, so let's start the class and other people can join us later. So today we also cover discourse functions. We will look at some other functions in the English language that you can use to express your ideas. Yes, and last time I think we didn't get a chance to do the speaking activity. Yes. Yeah, so last time we didn't have a chance to do the short story, but if today we have time, we're gonna do it. If not, we can do later on Monday next week when we finish the discourse function. Okay, so today we will start with remembering and sensing because in English language, sometimes we have to talk about things that happened in the past. And we will learn a couple of vocabulary and phrases that we can use to communicate those ideas. Yeah, since I already sent you the book, so today we will go through a couple of exercises so that you can have those vocabulary. Okay, so let's go through this exercise together. These people are talking about their memories of childhood. Use words from A, opposite, complete to complete the collocation. The words in bracket give the meaning of the words you need, right? If you open your book in topic 54, then you will have a list of these words that we need to complete. But if not, that's fine. We can go through it together and learn some of these words. Okay, let's start with Savanara. Can you read the first one? You don't need to complete it, just read the paragraph.
Well, my my first memory is sitting is our garden of my mother left.
Okay, can you continue on until the end?
I very clearly remember that there was a cat or dog there too, but I can't remember much else.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So we have, yeah, so in English, it's normal to start our sentence with well. This is also a discourse marker. Yeah, you can start with well, start with so, start with and. First of all, yeah, there are a couple of phrases that start. You can use these words. It's a better choice than using fillers like So if you are in the habit of using or to start a sentence, maybe try to replace it with well. Yeah, it's more natural to the native speakers, by the way. Okay, and then the first gap is about my first memory is of sitting in our garden on my mother's lap, right? So this is also a good expression, is of. Yeah, when you talk about your memory, it's part of something, you can eliminate the word part. Yeah, so it's just is of, right? The importance of this project is of providing something like that. It is an informal expression. We don't use it in writing, but in speaking, you see it a lot. Yeah, so what is an alternative to first here if I want to say my first memory? But first here is not accurate because there is no first or second in our memory. There is only, so can anybody guess the word? Like if I want to say my memory in childhood, something that I can recall first, what is the word for that? Okay, and anybody can answer that. If you have a word, like in English, how would you say? Okay, Tikia.
Can be my childhood memory.
Yes, childhood memory is good, but the word here should also mean childhood and first. Okay, yeah, we will go through the answers later. I will just go through a couple more. So the word is earliest memory. It's come from the word early. So when we talk about memory, we don't say first, second, or third memory, but instead we say early memory or late memory, right? So usually when we say early memory, something that you remember as the first point in your memory. Maybe you did not remember your whole childhood, but you only remember the first part of it, and you can call that the early memory or earliest to refer to the first one. And then we also have the second sentence, I not very clearly remember that there was a cat or dog there too, but I can't remember much else. So here we have not very clearly remember, right? If you remember something clearly, you can say, I clearly remember that. What if you remember, but just a little bit? What adverb can we substitute here? Okay, yeah, so for those of you who open your book in your device, on your device, you should be able to see this word. It starts with letter V. The word is vaguely. Yes, I will show the answer later next to it. Yeah, so Tikia, can you read number 2? Just read from the beginning till the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to have a blank memory when I was young, but I'm 82 now. And as you get older, your blank memory for things that happened long ago, it is very clear. But your memory of things that happened recently is less good. Sometimes I can't remember what happened yesterday, but I can very clearly remember my first day at school as a child.
Okay, thank you. So we have the first blank, which is an open blank. We can put anything. There is no guiding definition. I used to have a memory when I was young, but I'm 82 now. And as you get older, your specific type of memory, which means memory for things that happened a long time ago, is very clear, but your memory for things that happened recently is less good. Sometimes I can't remember what happened yesterday, but I can very clearly remember my first day at school as a child, right? So you see, when we do not know the words, we can use the expressions in the bracket to explain it. Yes, you can say my memory of things that happened long ago. But to do that in a conversation is not very efficient because you need to say more than just using the words that mean that, right? So the first one for the open bracket, we can use the word I used to have a good memory, or I used to have a sharp memory. So any adjective that go with memory that fits this context, because the person is trying to say that she used to have a good memory. So any synonym that means good and also goes with memory can be put here. So you can say good memory, you can say great memory, you can say wonderful memory, or you can say a sharp memory. Yes, but for other word, for excellent, it may not fit because it's not an, right? But if you can, in your speaking, you can say, I used to have an excellent memory. Now, as you get older, so the memory for things that happened long ago, that is a long-term memory. Yeah, and then we also have memory for things that happened recently, which is a short-term memory. So we have these contrasts of long-term memory and short-term memory. Sometimes I cannot remember what happened yesterday, but I can very clearly. So here you can say clearly remember, but you want to emphasize that very clearly. So you can say you vividly remember, right? Yes, when I show it, you will see the spelling. So Chin, can you read number 3?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah.
Sorry, teacher. Yesterday I am absent, so for exercise number 3, I not yet complete.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
only,
Nobody
I
has.
only, I only read.
Yeah, you can read and
Okay.
just read it as blank. Okay.
My mother sometimes tells me things I did or said when I was little, but with how black totally forgotten. One embarrassing memory which are rather black out is when I lost some scissors and cut my own hairs. It looked awful.
Okay, thank you. So my
Yes.
mother sometimes tells me things I did or said when I was little, but which I have totally forgotten. Yeah, so another synonym of totally here that you can put, yeah, you can say completely forgotten, or more informal, you would say I have clean forgotten, which is not very popular. People don't use it, but yeah, you can use it. It's very informal. Clean, like the word you clean your house. You can say, I've clean forgotten it. One embarrassing memory which I'd rather, and then we have the word out. So this is a phrasal verb. I'd rather, and that means avoid remembering. When something embarrassing happened and you want to take it away from your memory, and the word is blot out, B-L-O-T. Yeah, it's when I took some scissors and cut my own hair, it looked awful. Okay, the last one before we see the answer and learn those phrases. Yeah, I see someone with the number 947. Yeah, can you read that? Sorry, I cannot see your name. Okay, can you hear me? Number with the name with the number. Okay, we'll get back to you later. So I'm gonna read this one for everyone. Seeing school children often up all kinds of memory, makes old memory come to the surface. So this is a word that means remind, right? Remind us of something. I wasn't happy at school and I have some unpleasant memories of being forced to do sports, which I hated. Sometimes when I hear certain songs, memories come back. Lots of memory return, right? So the first one is an expression that means to make old memory come back. That is to remind you when perhaps you see someone and it reminds you of someone else. So the word that we use with memory, yeah, is the stir up. Yeah, let me show you the answer. Okay, so let's go with number 4 first. So to stir up all kinds of memory, that means to remind you of something that happened a long time ago. Yes, you can say seeing you stirs up a lot of memory. So to stir up memories mean to make you think of something in the past. stir up, right? Stir up, S-T-I-R, stir up memories. And then we can also say unpleasant memories, but to make it stronger, if you want to emphasize it, you can say painful memories. I wasn't happy at school and I have some painful memories. Again, both unpleasant and painful are correct. Yes, but just painful is more emphatic. It's stronger. It has a stronger meaning. Painful memories. Memories come flooding back, right? So this is an expression when memories come flooding back, just like the flood that we experienced after the rain. It's like all of them happen at once. Maybe you go to the job interview, someone asks you a specific question about your childhood, and then all memories came flooding back. That means suddenly you were thinking of all things that happened in the past, right? Memories come flooding back. So if you have notebook, these are expressions you need to talk about memory. Let's take a look at the first one again. I already told you the answer. My earliest memory. That means things that happened first that I could still recall. Earliest memory. And if you want to say that you remember something just a little bit, so instead of saying just a little bit, you can use the correct adverb for it, which is vaguely. Yeah, V-A-G-U-E-L-Y, but you only pronounce V-A-G and li. The U-E is silent. Vaguely. Yes, I vaguely remember. Yeah, so this is very useful when someone asks you to recall something, like tell me about your first job. You say, I have been doing a couple of jobs in recent years. So I only vaguely remember my first job. Vaguely remember. And number two, I already told you, we have a good memory. We have a long-term. Long-term memory means things that happened a long time ago. You can say my long-term memory. Short-term things that just happened. And as a contrast to vaguely, you can use distinctly or vividly. Remember. As when you remember something clearly with all the details, you can say, I distinctly remember, or vividly. For example, you can say, well, it was a long time ago, but I vividly remember my first time at school. I was crying the moment my parents dropped me off. Yes, then you say vividly because you can still recall the details. Number three, yes, we have completely forgotten. That, yeah, if you totally forget something, you can also say completely forget it. Or as a more informal way, you can say, I have clean forgotten. Yes, and then we have the word blot out, which is also very informal. We don't use it in writing, but in speaking, when you say, I'd rather blot out, I would rather. Yes, I'd rather means I would choose this if I could. That's the whole meaning of it. That means maybe you don't want to remember it. Maybe you don't want to talk about it. So I'd rather, I'd apostrophe D, it's the full one is I would rather. But in speaking, we say I'd rather. That means I would choose this. For example, if someone asks you like, can you tell me about your experience learning math in high school? And then you may say, I'd rather not talk about it. Yeah, I'd rather not talk about it. That means I would prefer not to talk about it. Okay, and then here we have the word blot out. So to blot out means to avoid remembering, to avoid recalling something. Yeah, so these are a couple of expressions that you should use in your day-to-day conversations whenever you can. Just use this word vaguely, vividly. It makes you communicate your point faster. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more expressions. It was a nightmare. The moment I look at the exam paper, my mind went. So what is the word here and the meaning of the context? It was not it was a painful experience, right? Because we say it was a nightmare. So the moment I look at the paper, my mind went, when what? Okay, and number two, her name's Lynn, and she worked with Nick a few years ago. If I remember something, right? That is an expression too. 3, let me see if I can remember where we met. Give me a 4, it was a wonderful trip to India. It was some kind of experience. And then 54.3, we just put the word in, and 54.4, we just choose the correct adverb. Okay, let's take a look at the answers. Yeah, so once again, the goal of this is not for you to complete the exercise correctly, but rather to learn this word as a phrase, right? So that you can practice it and then it becomes part of your vocabulary. Okay, I'm a bit late. That's fine. Yeah. So the first, let's take a look at 54.2. It was a nightmare. The moment I look at the exam paper, my mind went blank. So when you talk about your mind, you can say it goes blank. To go blank, blank means empty in English language. So when your mind goes blank, it means you cannot recall anything. All your memory is lost at that particular moment, right? My mind goes blank. For example, when I first stood up and talked to my classmate, it was my first presentation at the university. My mind went blank. I prepared for it. I had my notes, but at that moment, my mind just went blank, right? So you can use that. My mind goes blank. Number 2, her name's Lynn and she worked with Nick a few years ago, if I remember rightly, or you can say correctly. And this is as a whole phrase, if I remember correctly. Yes, you can say something and then you can add if I remember correctly. And it means that I may be wrong. Some parts of the details may not be accurate. But if I remember correctly, this is what it was. Number 3, let me see if I can remember where we met. Give me a clue, right? Give somebody a clue. Yeah, clue in Khmer Dom Roy, right? So that means you tell someone something that remind them to think about it. For example, you meet someone at a conference or at a workshop, and then you realize that the person looks familiar. You can approach the person, excuse me, you look very familiar to me. Yeah, could you give me a clue when we met? But make sure you really know the person. Otherwise, you are talking to a complete stranger, right? So give someone a clue. Give me a clue. It also works when you are trying to solve a problem. Let's say you are trying to solve a mathematic problem and then you get stuck, but your friend knows the solution. You say, please don't tell me the answer. Just give me a clue. That means just say something that make me go on. Number 4, it was a wonderful trip to India. It was an unforgettable experience. Unforgettable experience. It means a very, very good experience. An unforgettable, or you can say a memorable experience. Whichever one is okay, right? A memorable experience or an unforgettable experience. Number 54.3, we also have this expression. Do you ever get the impression that Sylvia is a little mad? She says some very odd things. Do you ever get the impression that, right? This is the whole phrase. Do you ever get the impression that? Put it in your notebook and learn to say it so that it feels natural. Do you ever get the impression that? Yes. And that means, do you think like I do? Yeah. So yeah, the entire phrase means, do you think like I do? Like you observe something and you are asking if the other person is thinking the same way like you do. So you can say, do you ever have the impression that this person is behaving like this or that? Okay. Do you ever get the impression that? Number 2, a bit of tension between Mark and Pauline. I wonder if they've had a row. So to had a row, not a row here, the word is row. The word can be pronounced as row or row, but it means different things. To have a row means to have an argument. Yes, to argue over something. So number 2, I sensed a bit of tension, right? To sense tension, to sense some tension. That means you could feel that people are not getting along. So you can say, I sense a bit of tension. And you see it in the news a lot when you say that we sense a tension in his voice. So when someone was saying something to the press and then they sense some tension in the voice, that means the person was nervous. Number 3, usually I can trust my to tell me if someone is lying or not. And the word is intuition. Intuition, right? Intuition is natural feeling. It's not something that you learn from school, from work, from experience. It's just a natural feeling. Yeah, so sometimes you are about to make a decision, but then you have a natural feeling that it may not be a good option for you. Yes. So some people call that intuition. A more informal way is gut feeling. Let me put it in the chat. Yeah, some people also say that I trust my gut feeling. So when you hear the word gut feeling, that means intuition and it means natural feeling. The feeling that you have without even thinking about it. It just happens. So in English, you can say, trust your intuition. Usually I can trust my intuition. I can trust my natural feeling. Number 4, you're ridiculously oversensitive. You treat everything I say as a personal attack on you. You're ridiculously oversensitive. Yeah, when someone is oversensitive, that person is very mindful of what other people say. So normally you will not make a joke of the person. You will not say anything funny about their appearance or their work or their study, their behaviors. You cannot mock them because they will probably feel mad at you because they are oversensitive, right? And then here we also have an adverb, ridiculously oversensitive. That means it's just too much that I cannot accept it. Number 5, it was so cold and I had no gloves on. My hands went as I rode my bike. My hands went numb, right? Numb. That means in Khmer, spật đáy, my hands went numb. Yeah, so to go numb means like that you cannot feel it. You can say it with the hands. You can also use it with your brain. When you say my brain goes numb, that means I cannot think about anything right now. Maybe because you are too tired. Yeah, you may say that I have been reading this book for 3 hours. Now my mind goes numb or my brain goes numb. That means I cannot think about anything else. I have used too much energy of my brain. Number 6, he used a special face cream and toothpaste as he has skin and teeth sensitive, right? So here we say sensitive skin and sensitive teeth. Sensitive means you feel the impact strongly. If you have a sensitive skin, you go into the sun, then it's likely to burn or give you a rash or you feel itchy. If you have a sensitive teeth, you may not be able to enjoy ice cream or hot drinks because hot or cold will make you feel it, right? So usually people have sensitive teeth after they have their teeth clean or deep clean, then you have a sensitive teeth. Okay, number 7, dogs have hearing and smell. Okay, and are often used to rescue disaster victims. Yeah, let me change this a bit. I think I misspelled it. It should be acute, not actuate. Actuate. Yeah, dogs have acute, hearing and smell and are often used to rescue disaster victims. So acute, it's just like the word cute. When someone is cute or lovely, but you put a in front of it, it becomes acute. And it has nothing to do with cute. Acute means very sharp. So when you have an acute sense of hearing or an acute sense of smell, it means you are very sensitive to sound or you are very sensitive to smell. And the word acute is also formal. People use it a lot. If you read the text in newspaper or in IELTS tests, you will see this word often, acute sense. Yeah, you have an acute sense. That means you have a really sensitive way of feeling the sensations. 8, Paul is a very sensible person. You can trust him not to do anything foolish. Sensible means reasonable, right? So sensible is different from sensitive. So can anyone tell me the difference between sensitive and sensible by now? Any volunteer? What is a sensible person and what is a sensitive person? Okay, please go ahead.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, I can hear
For
you.
this word, I would like to press my idea. So please correct me if my understand is not correct. The sensible person, for me, it means the positive person. They have reasonable, and sensitive person. It's just my idea. I think negative person.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I think you get the meaning, but it's hard to say whether it's positive or negative. We know sensible is positive. Yeah, a reasonable person, a sensible person, it's always in a positive way, but sensitive doesn't always mean negative. Sensitive just mean emotional. Yes, if you want to make it negative, you can put over sensitive. But a sensitive person is a person who can express their emotion a lot, right? It's a bit negative, but it's not entirely negative, right? So yeah, you get the meaning. A sensitive person is an emotional person, and a sensible person is a reasonable one.
So, teacher, that means sensitive person is like the, just my understand is like the drama queen or drama king, like to, so they are emotional like this.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, but sensitive, yeah, the word drama queen that we use all the time now, drama king or drama queen that we use to call our friends. The word drama queen means they like to express their emotions. So it's about expressing their emotions. Sensitive is about sensing the emotion. So yeah, the two words are not really synonyms, because when you say someone is a drama person, that means the person like to express their feelings. But if a person is sensitive, that person doesn't have to express his or her feelings, but just that they really take on everything emotionally. Yeah, so when you talk to your friend like, oh, I think you did a really good job. So they were really happy hearing that. Or you may say, oh, you did a really good job. Everyone loved your performance, but there was something. And then that person focus on that something, even though you say that you like their performance overall. But there was one thing that people were not happy with. And the sensitive person will feel a strong emotion toward that, right? But whether he or she express it or not, we don't know, based on the word sensitive. Yeah, I hope this is clear. Sensitive means take on the feelings. Drama means expressing the feelings.
Okay, I get your point. So it means the separate between these two words.
Yes.
Sensitive person and drama queen or drama king. It's
Yeah.
different type.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then 54.4, we have these adjectives. So for the adjective, you have to remember, I remember that we agreed to meet at the gym. So you can say, I distinctly remember we don't use strongly remember. Yeah, we use strongly recommend. I strongly recommend. I strongly endorse, which is another word for recommend. But we don't say with remember. Yes, and then we don't say rightly remember. The only phrase we use with rightly is in 54.2 in number 2, if I remember rightly, right? If you use an adverb before remember, you can say I distinctly remember or I vividly remember. Number 2, the impression that you didn't like Molly. I had the impression. The phrase is have the impression. Have the impression is a phrase, right? So use have for the impression. Number 3, you must wear gloves in this cold or your finger will go numb, right? Go numb is an expression, go numb. Number 4, I usually find that I can't trust my intuition, just like what we saw earlier. Number 5, I'd rather such unpleasant memory. So here we talk about unpleasant memory. So we probably do not want to stir up those memories. Instead, we want to blot out. That means to remove those memories. Blot out. Okay, so here are the expressions you can use to talk about remembering and sensing. So anytime you talk about things that happened in the past, you can review these words. And when you watch a video where people talk about their past experiences, you may come across new expressions, then learn them as well. So that whenever you talk about things that you remember or things that you sense, then you can really, yes, use these expressions to help you communicate your meanings. Now we move on to discourse number 2 for today's lesson, which is agreeing and disagreeing. And I'm sure you all have more functions for this one because in your workplace, you probably use a lot of these phrases to say that you agree or disagree with someone. Okay, so yeah, you can look at the exercise or just look at the answer key because I already put the phrase here that you need to learn. So in 55.1, we have agree to defer. Agree to defer. So agree to what defer here comes from the noun difference. To defer means to have differences. So when you agree to differ, that means you settle your differences. You are back in friendship. For example, you and your colleague had different opinions about a project and you argue really hard during the meeting. And people were afraid that two of you would not get along because of the argument. But then after a while, you talk to your colleague and then you can tell everyone that we have agreed to defer. That means we are still different. We still have different opinions, but we have agreed to be different. Agree to defer, right? បានន័យថាចុះសម្រុងគ្នាដូចដើម agree to defer. We also have enter into an argument. So this phrase means that now you get into an argument with someone. Enter or get into an argument. Perhaps you were not part of it before, but because someone said something and you had to stand up for your own opinion, so you enter into an argument. Yeah, don't forget the into. Most people will say, I am entering an argument. You will say enter into an argument. That's the correct expression. Share an opinion. Yes, you can share an opinion. That means to share your idea, share your point of view. I know everyone knows this one. Settle our differences. That's another expression for agree to differ. Settle our differences. Let's debate, let's talk about it so that we can settle them. Settle means solve. Right? Oh, that's collocation. Settle our differences. See someone's point. Yes, I can see your point. Can you see my point? So the point here means the when you see someone's point, you understand what they want to say, right? The point is the particular want to communicate point. It's an expression someone explaining question like can you be more specific? Come to a compromise. That's another expression for agree to differ or settle our differences. So we have this expression, come to a compromise. A compromise is the middle ground. Let's say you want the company to have 20-day holidays and your friends want to have 15-day holidays. So a compromise would be somewhere in the middle where both of you can be happy to accept. Yeah, that is come to a compromise. To be in agreement. Yeah, to be in agreement with someone. That is an expression. Appreciate another person's point of view or appreciate others' point of view. That means you welcome and you value other people's ideas. Okay, and then for reaching an argument, you can also say settle a dispute. A dispute is another word for an argument. Yeah, when someone had a very strong emotional argument, then you can settle a dispute. Yeah, dispute jumluh in Khmer. And then we come to a compromise. And then for disagreeing, we have a controversy rages. So a rage means a strong anger, but you can also use it as a verb, like you can see here, a controversy rages. And then we have a head-on clash. Yeah, I think it's wrong spelling. Yeah, a head-on clash. That means we call it a head-on clash means a very direct confrontation. In the meeting, when two people really speak at one another, that is a head-on clash. It's not indirect, it's very direct. And some people are not very comfortable with that, right? So be careful, but then from time to time, we really need a head-on clash, a direct debate, a heated argument. Yeah, this is another word for dispute, a heated argument. Yeah, nângឆ្លោះគ្នាតឹងសរសៃក in Khmer. Yeah, in English we don't use the cycle or anything. We say heated argument. Differences exist, right? Differences exist. Just to say that people are different. Okay, so expression on the left that you need to learn if you want to talk about agreeing or disagreeing more naturally. Agree to differ, enter into an argument, share an opinion, settle our differences, see someone's point, come to a compromise, like that. Okay. And then we have a couple more expression here. In 55.3, we have a sentence, I don't completely agree with what you say. And the instruction says that we need to use the word in bracket point to rewrite the sentence. Yes, so I will give you alternative in a separate slide that use these words. And then 55.4 is just an opinion, right? So here is an expression that is useful for you. I agree with what you say up to a point. So this is to say that I don't completely agree with you. I only partly agree with you. There are some points I don't agree. So you can say agree up to a point. Agree up to a point. Yes, as an expression. I agree with you up to a point. Or if you want to say you're completely in agreement with someone, you can say I entirely agree with you, or I completely or I totally agree with you. Or I am entirely in agreement with you. Yeah, whatever expression you say. 3, the committee reached a unanimous agreement, right? Unanimous. Yeah. Unanimous agreement means one-sided agreement. Like everyone vote for that. Let's say you have a competition and you have 3 judges. If 3 judges vote for one candidate, that is a unanimous agreement. If 2 vote for one and 1 vote for the other, that's called a split agreement. Yes. Decision or a split agreement if like the opinions are divided. Differences will always arise even between friends, right? So arise, you can use the word arise with differences, with conflicts, with disputes, yeah, arguments. So you can say arguments arise when people don't understand each other. Yes, or James and Ben strongly disagreed over the question of climate change, right? That strongly disagreed. The project has been delayed because of a conflict of opinion or because of conflicting opinions among the members of the committee. Yeah, so this is an expression that you need to be careful, a conflict of opinion. That is opinion as an uncountable noun. That's why you don't see a or as in there. It's a conflict of opinion. It's the same with a matter of opinion. So in English, it's also good to know like when we refer to the noun as a concept and when we refer the noun as object. Opinion can be concept, it can be object. Uncountable. Yeah. Yeah, something like what I put in the chat. If you see opinion as a concept, then it's uncountable. You don't say an, or opinions, you don't make it plural. So the word a matter of opinion, a conflict of opinion, this one is opinion as a concept. So we don't put as to opinion. But if you want to use adjective with opinions, with as an S, then opinion become an object, something that you count, like one opinion, two opinions, three opinions. Then you can say conflicting opinions, right? A conflict of opinion or conflicting opinions. One is a concept, one is an object. Yes. I give you an example for you to understand this. Let's say you are in a meeting and then you ask 5 people to share their opinions. So now opinion is an object because you are counting 5 people, 5 opinions. And then if you report it in that meeting, you may say, now that we have conflicting opinions, let's settle them, right? Now that we have conflicting opinions. But let's say you finish the meeting and then 1 week later, people say that, did you make a decision about what to do? And you say that, oh, we couldn't because it was a conflict of opinion. Because here you don't want to talk about the number of opinions that were there. You want to just to talk about the whole event, like the summary of the event. That is a matter of opinion or a conflict of opinion. I find it difficult to go along with such an idea, right? To go along with an idea, a more formal expression is to proceed with an idea. That means to implement the idea. Let's say your company decide to increase the price of the products, and you as a salesperson or as a marketing agent, you know that it will be hard to convince consumers about the price increase. So you may say, I find it difficult to go along with such an idea. Okay, we fundamentally disagree fundamentally about most things, right? So the word fundamentally means we disagree with the nature of things. For example, if you believe that education needs to be stricter, that means you need to set a higher bar. Let's say students need to pass the exam at 70%, not 50. But then for me, I believe that education should be more enjoyable, and then we don't need that kind of strict assessment. In this case, we can say that both of us fundamentally disagree about education because it's not a small thing. We just think about completely different perspectives. That is the meaning of the word fundamentally. Right? So again, here are expressions that you can use to talk about Yeah, agreeing or disagreeing, agree up to a point, entirely agree, unanimous agreement, differences arise. Yes, and here's a sample of email that you may write, and then you may want to express some of your agreement or disagreement or opinion. Yes, again, yes, it's just a word that I already shared with you. Share the opinion. I share the opinion mean that I understand your point. Yeah, I share the opinion of your correspondent that the EU has brought peace to Europe, but I cannot agree that a single currency for all of Europe is necessary. Number two, it is a matter of opinion, right? It is a matter of opinion. Number three, there is reason to believe, right? There is reason to believe. Again, reason here is used as a concept. That's why we don't say there is a reason to believe unless you want to emphasize what that reason is. But in general, you can say there is reason to believe. So reason here is an uncountable noun. Number four, according to popular belief. Again, belief here, you don't say a popular belief or beliefs as a plural because we want to talk about concept. According to popular belief, this is an expression. Popular belief means what people normally think. Yes, people may think that more education is better. That is a popular belief. Yes, number five, we have a difference of opinion, right? Just like a matter of opinion, a conflict of opinion, you can say a difference of opinion. Number six is more toward idioms. We call it poles apart. Yeah, this is like a comparison. Pole mean yeah. Pole នឹងបើបង្គោលខ្មែរណាដូចបង្គោលលបងបង្គោលភ្លើងអីហ្នឹងគឺ pole. So when you say poles apart, that means they are separate from each other. You may say that my brother and I are poles apart, or my sister and I are poles apart. You can also talk about your colleague, right? We are very close friends at work, but in terms of perspective, we are poles apart, and we fundamentally disagree about most things. Yes, you see now I try to demonstrate how you can use these words to talk about different things. Number eight, a great believer. Yes, a great believer when you really follow something strictly. That's a great believer. And then number nine, sneaking suspicion, right? A sneaking suspicion. Not just, sorry. Suspicion. Yeah, a sneaking suspicion when you have a feeling, when you have a gut feeling that something is not right, that there is someone cheating in the company or there is some kind of fraud going on, then you have a sneaking suspicion, right? It's you feel that something is not right. Okay, so these are expressions you can use. A matter of opinion, popular belief, poles apart, sneaking suspicion. Okay, and then we also have a little bit more in 56.2. There are wrong collocation, 7 of them. And 56.3, we just merge the words, and 56.4, we just put them into an expression. Once again, just look at the key and learn these words. One, you see in the text, they say, I wish we can. You cannot use wish and can. You need to use wish and could. If you want to use can, you need to say hope. I hope we can, okay? Or I wish we could. I hope we can is more positive. That means you believe that it will happen. I wish we could means that you are not really positive that it will happen. I wish we could, right? People may say, can we do this? Say, I don't know. I wish we could. Yeah, or we could try. So in English, when you are not certain that something will happen, you don't use can, you use could. We could try. That means I am not sure if it works, but we could try. But if you say we can try, that means let's give it a try. You are positive. So if you believe in the possibility, you can. If you don't believe in the possibility, you could. Yes, and the expression is I hope we can and I wish we could. Number 2, opinions are divided. We don't say separated. Opinions are divided. That's the correct word. Number 3, we have strong opinions. In the text, they say heavy opinions. We don't say heavy opinions. We say strong. 4, unshakable beliefs. In the text, they say unstirred belief in line number 3. Unshakable belief means a strong belief in something. Number 5, set of beliefs, right? Set of belief, not group of beliefs. Number 6, considered opinion. Yeah, considered opinion. And not thoughtful opinion. And number 7 is a different opinion, not a different meaning. And 56.3, it's just a verb. We have make assumptions. Make assumption, it means guess, to guess something. Number 2, color somebody's judgment or trust somebody's judgment. Yeah. So to trust someone's judgment means to believe someone's decisions. Yeah, for example, you have a supervisor at work and you say that whatever you decide, I trust your judgment. I believe that you have considered them well and you are a sensible person. So I trust your judgment. But then there are some people who try to like color you. Yeah, có ai cái hạt liệp po này, ông lấy của color đấy. To color someone judgment. Yeah, don't color my judgment. For example, you make a judgment to do this, but then someone misinterpret it to mean something else. That means to color the judgment. Number 4, attach importance to, right? Attach importance to, and then you can put the noun there. Number 5, cast doubt on, means to, yes, to make you question something. For example, after that meeting, his speaking behavior really cast doubt on his leadership. Cast my doubt on his leadership. That means it makes me question his leadership. Cast doubt on, right? And the word doubt, we don't pronounce B. We don't say doubt. There's no B in there. B is silent. You spell it, but you don't pronounce it. So pronounce it's like D-O-U-T, doubt. And then number 6, have serious misgiving or have serious doubts. That means you don't believe in something, you doubt. Doubt នឹងខ្មែរគឺសង្ស័យ បានន័យថាយើងមានការសង្ស័យ have serious doubts or have serious misgivings. 56.4, again, just word that you see earlier. We have a poles apart. Yeah, this mistake is very persisting. Sneaking suspicion, you have strong opinions, popular belief, cast doubt, firmly believe, and think hard. Yes, these are expressions that you can use. Yeah, because today we have 4 to cover, so I just go a little bit over time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, so we talk about agreeing and disagreeing, opinions and belief. And now let's take a look at deciding when you want to talk about decision. Yeah, we have the word put off. To put off means to delay. Yeah, to put off the work means to delay the work. To put off the decision means to delay the decision. Number 2, you already know the word unanimous. That means everyone voted for that decision. Number 3, reserve judgment. Yeah, reserve judgment. In Khmer, we say that Kum Tuan Al Yay Lươn Pei. Okay, reserve judgment. That means we have to think about it first. So we need to delay our judgment. So you can use the word reserve. I think we should reserve judgment. Or to use the expression that we learned earlier today, I'd rather reserve judgment. If people say that, what do you think about the project? What do you think about this policy? What do you think about this event that we saw in the news? You would say, well, we don't have enough details for now. I'd rather reserve judgment. Have second thoughts. Yeah, have second thoughts. In English, we don't have the expression have first thought. We only have second thoughts. Have second thought means to think about it again. Kịchឡើងវិញម្ដងទៀត Yeah, especially when you are changing your decision. For example, you may say that, oh, I have decided to accept their offer because they offer me a better position and a higher salary. But after a second thought, or after I had a second thought, I would rather stay here because the promotion is coming, something like that, right? Having second thoughts. That means you think about it again and you are changing your opinion. Number 5, a slight hesitation. A slight hesitation. That means you're about to do something, but then you hesitate a little bit. Yeah. Hesitate. So hesitate means you are not confident to do something. Yeah. You hesitate. Slight hesitation. And then 57.2, we have sound judgment. Sound judgment means good judgment, reasonable judgment, wise decision. I know we understand this one. It's a good decision. It's a wise decision. Weigh up the options. Yeah, you weigh up the options. Again, the T shouldn't be there because it's a verb. Weigh up the options. And then we have arrive at a decision. Number 4, arrive at a decision. This is very useful when you and your colleagues work on something. You say arrive at a decision. That means we talk about it. Now we come to conclusion. A degree of certainty. Remember that one. A degree of certainty. Defend our decision. A tough choice. Yeah, it's a tough choice, a difficult decision. Take an advice. Give somebody a chance, not a change. Yeah. And then come to a decisions. Okay, and let me go through a little bit briefly this one. So this one is just you read the text on top and then you put the name of the person there. But again, the goal is to learn collocation. So you can just look at the slide once you get it. Yeah, so overall today we look at agreeing and disagreeing. Start from here. Let me go back so you know where we started. Yeah, last time we have an homework, and today instead of assigning them as homework, I do the exercise with you, and your homework will be to read the lessons. So it's like backward. We do the exercise, and please go back and read the lessons in the materials I send to you, the discourse functions. And once again, the important thing is to take these expressions and put them into your own notes in your own collections. So that next time when you speak or when you engage in a conversation, you don't have to speak from grammar. You can speak from collocation. Yeah, that's the goal of our course. We don't want you to speak and think about a single word and a single grammar, but rather we want you to have phrases like this. Yes, like earliest memory, vaguely remember, because then you can really focus on the meaning rather than focusing on the structure or the word in a sentence. You can now focus on the meaning of the conversation. Yeah, I've completely forgotten, blocked out the memories. So starting from here, learn this word again and again. And because we only have 1 hour of meeting, maybe after you learn the discourse function and the topics, we will have a presentation. It's another 1 hour when you just pick a topic that you want, and then you speak for about 3 to 5 minutes. And what we want to see from you is the use of collocations, the words that we learned from this class. Yes, learn to use it. And then once it becomes natural, you probably can focus on the conversation better in English. So then when you talk, or when you speak English, you don't have to think about those like grammar and words. I'm sure you already know the feeling when you communicate and you think about grammar, you are not really in that conversation. You find it really hard to focus. So the expression on the left here on this slide are very useful. Make sure you put them in your notebook, and then we will have a mini presentation so that everyone can practice using these collocations, and we would love to see how you will use it, right? Once again, it's Friday night for everyone. So we can stay here for another 2 minutes. If you have any specific question about the phrases, about anything related to the topics here or speaking in general, then we will call it a day. Yeah, the last expression for you is let's call it a day. That means we have done enough work today, so let's just finish and enjoy the rest of the day. So you can use it. Let's call it a day. Yeah. Okay, so let's do something fun here. Can anyone say something by using the expression you learned today, by one or two of them before we end? So start with Savannah. Can you try a sentence or two? Can be any expression we learned today.
A unanimous decision.
Okay. Okay,
It means
unanimous.
a unanimous decision is a one side of decision.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So you pick, I also love this one. My first time learning it is in boxing. When you hear the ring announcer came, they would say it was a unanimous decision, and I didn't know what it meant. Yeah, now I know. It means that all the judges voted on one of the boxer. Yes. And then it took me a while to pronounce it. It's unanimous. There's a unanimous. Yes. We have a similar one that also is similar to this one, but it means something else. It's anonymous. Yeah, anonymous. ខ្មែរយើងហៅ anamok ហ្នឹងគឺអត់ស្គាល់អត្តសញ្ញាណ unknown, anonymous person. Yeah, when someone called you and it was a private number, you can say it was an anonymous caller, right? So we have unanimous, one-sided, and anonymous, unknown. Thank you. And Tikia, can you pick a couple of expression or just one for us?
Sorry, I'm not remember anything. Just let's call it a day.
Let's call. Yeah, you said you don't remember anything. So what is the expression to say that if you don't remember anything?
Like clear memory.
Yeah, so
Is
you
it
have a blank. Your mind,
blank?
memory goes blank.
Yeah, memory goes blank.
Yeah. Okay, my memory goes blank. Or because today we study a lot of expression, we cover 4 topics. You can say my mind goes numb. That means,
Okay.
it's just I cannot think of anything right now. I have to go back and restudy everything.
Yeah.
Think
My mind goes numb. My
numb.
mind goes numb.
Yes. Okay, and Chin, how about you? Any word or phrase?
Okay, teacher, I try it. I am consider opinion to I had strong opinion about learning English, teacher. Strong opinion.
Okay, a strong opinion. And then earlier you say a considered opinion, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a considered opinion is also good. A strong opinion, you know it. A considered opinion means you have thought about it. Okay, last one, sister. Yeah. Can you give us the word?
Yes, teacher. For me, I highly appreciate for your sharing the lesson today, especially for collocation. So I will try to apply the collocation in my working. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you just say highly appreciate. That's also a really good collocation. Yeah, we don't say strongly, we say highly appreciate, and then we will put them in practice. Yeah, put them into practice. Okay, everyone, I know collocations, you will not get it immediately. It takes some time, but once you get it, as I say, you can just focus on meanings in the conversations. We have another session on discourse function next Monday. And then from that, teacher Lida will walk you through a couple of topics. Then you also increase your vocabulary for specific topic like environment, healthcare, industry, government, so that whatever topic you engage in, you use these functions that you learn with me, and then you can use the topics that you will learn and then put them together. You can produce a very coherent speech. And then at the end, we will have, like, as again, we will set up a mini presentation where everyone get a chance to put everything into practice. Yeah, so after this, I will send you the updated slide that contain the lesson today, as well as the video for the lesson today in case you want to watch it again or people who miss it want to see it. Okay, having said that, please have a good evening, good night, and see you again next Monday. Have a
Yes,
good
good
weekend.
night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Teacher, thank you.
Yes, thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Good night,
Goodbye.
everyone.